Hi everyone, welcome back to ICAP. Alright. ICAP for International Commercial Archeology Observation. ICAP. Like the solar cap, water bottle cap. They preserve history. Alright. Today I'd like to talk about one of my favorite airplane. Airplane. You remember those big the Queen of the Sky, as they call her. You know that it? That's Boeing 747. That was a beauty. It had that duck shape plane because that's like 1.5. Call it 1.5 deck because it started out way back when Boeing was making 707, one of the first in the series of the 700 series. Each manufacturer has their own number. Like Boeing had the 700, Airbus had the 300. Okay, it was a long range, wide body. I think, I'm not sure. I believe I flew on a 747 with my brother to LA, from New York to LA. Because I was going to visit this college out California, Architecture College Design. And I remember the trip back, the very last seat the back. You really feel, oh man, that's what. Anyway, it's funny. I was sitting right next to a CCO. So my brother heard him saying CCO of a company when he was talking with somebody. Ew. But I forgot right now what company he was. So I missed what's going on with that one. Anyway, the 747 was first made in 1968. Get Pan Am wanted a plane 2.5 times of 707. They said, okay. That was back in 1960, I think it said 1967. I read it, I looked it up online. So they went work right away. Design fast. You gotta remember, there's a lot of drafts back then. You just want to do different parts. No, yeah, that's a lot of work. Like 500 drafts for a car. Back in the 50s, 60s. I've heard designer drafts did that back then. Wow, that's a lot. Now it's only 3, maybe 2. Yep. They reused part changed a little bit. Anyway, so Pan Am wanted that and ordered 25 of the big one. So they said, okay, I trust you to design that big one. So then they ordered the 25 747 100 Barrett. There's a lot of Barrett. You know, you heard of the 100, 200, 300, so forth. Okay. Because it's a different body shape. So, September 30th, 1968, first ruled out the 747 from the assembly line plant. It was a special order built one prototype. I'm sure they were building something else there. But they built that big one. So they can test it. It took first flight, test flight, February 9th, 1969. The year of the Woodstock in the Man to the Moon. So that year was the banner year. Because the Queen of the Sky, the biggest passenger plane ever built at the time. Woodstock, Mention the Moon, you name it. Everything happened that year. It was big. Finally, they got certified in December 1969 and went right in service like that on January 22nd, 1970. That was fast. When they got approved, quickly get the number 2 bill. Then I read it somewhere they said it'd take a week for that. That's because they do a lot of different things at the same time. Bill, everything. Then put it on right along each stage of the plane. Not one thing at a time. No. Do everything at once. One do this department, the other do this department, like one would cockpit on one area, the other do gotta build the bathroom, the other gotta build kitchen, things like that. All different departments. Then they put them all together. Kinda like if you do that with a Lego. Just boom, 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 boom. Like that. 24 hours, 24/7. So they did 1 week. Yep, that's fair. So that's why when it served January 22nd, 1970, it was called jumbo jet because it was the largest. So there was the era at the time in the media they called that the jumbo jet. That's the beginning of the jumbo jet era. They've been doing it ever since. Around that same time, we also had the supersonic SST and the Lackey L-1011, or they actually call it 1011, which was 1972. Madonna Douglas DC-10, 1971. So they all came out pretty close. They all were used. But one thing about Lackey L-1011, that one is a tri-jet with the jet right over by the tail, overhead. It'd be loud if you sit in the very end. And then the MD-11, which came out later, replaced. Same big size. Well, for Airbus, they had A340 Barrett. Pretty close to that size, but that's the comparative. Not until A380 double decker, which came out in 2007, many years later. But it didn't do well. No, they stopped production in 2021. 747 outlived the Airbus, the production. Yeah, because it all 1,574 were built all the way to the end. It doesn't sound like that many. But in the street, yeah, it's many. And because of sheer size, that's why it's a lot. They don't just make so many like they make cars. They make 1,000 cars. Okay, I see it. The river rolls. Quite a bit to keep going. Every few minutes. 8 minutes, I think they said. 8 minutes. They come off the line. Go right out to the door to meet the truck if delivered to your dealer in 2 days. That's what they said at the River Roads for cars. Planes, I'm sure the pilots from each airlines have to go and pick them up, fly to their destination. And yet, one of those 747 called BT-25, which is actually the Air Force One, which carried the President of the United States. It's designed so differently than any other. You can't tell you them things. I think that's secret. No, it's totally different. Not all of them are passenger, okay? It's not like any other regular plane, which is 3 on each side with 4 with 5 in the middle. That's a lot of seats. Yeah, 5. I don't remember it. I'm the one with the very end. This plane did very well flying, considering only 4.1% of all of the plane lost due to crash or accident or incident. So this video is dedicated to 3,746 people who have died on that specific plane. It's down to all these family, friends, to the victim. Same with all the airlines, okay, all the planes, including the 9/11, including that the worst aircraft crash on the runway, recently plane crashes, and Boeing problem. Yeah, problem. But with this 747, it was well built. So it's different than the 737 MAX, which it specifically has the problem. All the others are fine. The replacement for 747 is the Dreamliner, which is 787, which is also a wide body and very minor sleek. It doesn't have that hump like a duck. No. It's only one floor. It's very sleek and designed inside of the plane for the Dreamliner. Of course, it has ferret too. But the 747 is a little shorter than Airbus 380, which is pretty long too. Just a little bit. But the 350ER go further than the 747. For example, the PL, Philippine Airlines, from JFK to Manila, non-stop, 16 and a half hours on that flight. That plane can handle 17 and a half. But I heard they're going to get much bigger ones. The range will be longer. And fuel-wise, too. And which means more passengers for that Airbus. We sure going to miss the hump. Because they stopped production in, I thought I wrote it down. They stopped in 2023. I think they said I remember that. They delivered the last one in January. From January to January. Yeah. Well, the you're in the friendly sky.